So, on today's Connect to Work, we have Sheri Gearhart, who is a system architect, and she's on the lookout for her next adventure. So, welcome to the program, Sheri. Thank you so much for being here with us. Do you want to just introduce yourself a bit first, or do you want to get right into the
Um,
questions?
well, thank you for having me. I'm Sheri, and I'm located in Fort Worth, Texas, and been in the tech industry for over 20 years. So,
We date ourselves, don't we?
exactly. Um, yes. And so, as you said, system architect looking for my next adventure.
Excellent. All right. So, what moment in your career has taught you the most?
A series of moments. There have been moments that taught me about myself personally, and moments that have given me great skill set expansion.
Hmm.
So, the moments that have taught me about myself, I moved from Montana to Texas for a job, only knowing one person in the area. And so learned I'm resilient, I'm brave, I'm strong. And even in this season, this is my first time in my entire career being laid off. And so learning again, I am resilient, I am brave, I am strong. And then as far as technical skill set expansion, when I chose to go to Acadia, which is now Dell Technologies, I went there to help design and build the world's first converged infrastructure. And I went in as a storage and storage networking SME, but what I learned was Cisco UCS, Cisco ACI, Cisco LAN networking, VMware. And then I learned what brings me joy in my work. And my joy is learning new things, learning new technologies, and being able to take that knowledge, share it with others, and ultimately being able to integrate that into my product and then share that with my customers. I love doing presentation sessions at conferences with customers. I love being on pavilion floors and talking to them and just learning how they use my product or how I can make it better for them. Really love that part of my job.
That's fantastic. So, you're just a Jane of all trades.
Still storage focused, but yes, I can
Right.
do many
But
things.
you walk the walk and talk the talk, which is
Yeah.
fabulous. Who wouldn't want that for an employee?
Right.
So, when your colleagues or teammates are talking about you, what are three things that they consistently say? How would they describe you?
I actually did a program at Dell where I had to go and ask my
Oh,
peers, my leadership, my mentors, give me the words that you would use to describe me. And there were three that consistently showed up: integrity, strategic, leadership.
fantastic. Those are three great words.
Mm-hmm.
So, good for you. Outside of work and your professional achievements, is there a passion project or a personal interest that has taught you skills that you do use on the job?
Yes, I'm an animal welfare advocate and doing fostering, volunteering for shelters, but I'm also a community cat caretaker. And as part of that, I educate people on the importance of TNVR, trap, neuter, vaccinate, return, and the importance of maintaining that cat colony within your neighborhood rather than removing the cats. And so within this experience, I have met people who are very open minded, willing to learn and listen, and I've met people who are not. And they're very difficult and very aggressive and confrontational. And so I've learned how to be in that kind of a situation and be open to hearing what they have to say, trying to understand how they're feeling, and trying to be very empathetic to their position and their point of view while trying to also educate and inform.
I know that's a tough gig, especially when it's something you're passionate about,
Mhm.
because you want everyone to just understand the lesson you're trying to teach. But yeah, so
Exactly. And so that translates into the business world when you're,
exactly, it does. Yep.
yeah, you do come across people that are a little more difficult to work with, and you just learn how to be present and open with them and
Right.
accepting of where they're coming.
And I mean, if you have skills herding cats, I mean, that's a huge,
Literally,
literally.
literally.
I used to herd goats and sheep, so.
And it's funny, I used to work for EDS, and I was at EDS when the cat herding commercial for the Super Bowl came out, so.
So there you go.
Yeah, funny.
See, it's just another skill you can tick off, though.
Check.
So how about a mentor? Has there been a mentor specifically that you would like to speak to or about?
Yes, I have a few fabulous mentors, but there's one who has been my friend and mentor for practically my entire Texas career. And she's phenomenal. Her name is Tammy Booth. She's the Chief Revenue Officer at Cloud Soda, and she is supportive, uplifting, empowering, inspiring. She's always providing encouragement, and she's just been the best friend and mentor over the years. And what I really love about her, she speaks the truth. And she's not going to hold back on her true feelings about something. And so when it's not something that's good for me, just go and tell me. and it's wonderful the way she puts it too. So I love her for being who she is and being just her authentic self when she comes to be a mentor for me.
Mm-hmm. Those are the best mentors, the ones that can tell you the truth and then still like hug you when you feel unhappy about the truth.
Exactly.
Is there a book or a podcast that you are particularly influenced by?
There's a lot. I'm a reader. And
Oh,
so
great.
I am a reader, and so there's a lot of books, but there is an author I continually go back to. That's Thich Nhat Hanh. And it's just he's just so wonderful at helping remind us that we need to breathe, we need to be present, we need to pause and just slow down. And so I'm rereading No Mud, No Lotus right now just because of the season I'm in, and just remembering that I can find joy in my current situation and these challenges I'm currently facing. So
that's great. I also love that he has a little bit of a sense of humor.
Exactly.
So
he does. He's very light at the way he does it.
Right. Which you can't always say about philosophers.
Right.
So, if you could spend a day learning from anyone, alive, dead, historical, fictional, who would that be and why?
This was a hard one. I think about our current situation that we're in this country and with our planet and the condition of our planet. And I just think about Teddy Roosevelt and being able to sit down with him, get his point of view on what's happening today within our government and with how our planet is being treated. It would just be really amazing to sit down and hear his thoughts.
That would be so insightful. I hadn't thought about Teddy Roosevelt, but gosh, that would be brilliant because he did both things
Exactly.
really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, against opposition too. So, yeah, that would be great. All right, I'm gonna have to keep that one on my list. Now, what do you see as the future of your industry?
So I'm in tech. The future seems pretty obvious. It's all going to artificial intelligence and machine learning. What I'm feeling, though, from this movement is that we're not putting enough emphasis on ethics and security and privacy. We have a lot of great advancements that we're making in technology, but I feel like those three components are afterthoughts, not forethoughts. And we should be developing this tech with them as forethoughts. And companies are making a hard shift to AI away from their core technologies. I think technology is almost like fashion. Some things are going to come back around. The whole cloud, hybrid cloud, private cloud, that keeps cycling around on which one's the most important to businesses. And I think your infrastructures are going like converged and hyper-converged infrastructure. I think that's going to be coming back. We need to think about our data and where it's going because AI models need to be trained on data. Inferencing requires data. Where's that data going to be stored? What is that storage technology, and how can we better make that technology to be able to handle the amount of data that's going to be out there that is needed for these models and for the inferencing, and being mindful of how that affects our planet and maintaining a sustainable planet while we are increasing that capability of technology to be able to support what that means for AI and ML.
I 100% agree with you. It's my own little like war cry around the office. Like, don't just start talking about data centers until you've thought about how we can fund them and keep them cool and not
exactly
destroy everything. So yeah. So that's the end of my questions for you, Sheri. But is there anything that I haven't touched on that you would like people to know? I mean, this is like a little mini interview exposure, since we don't always have time to interview every single person. So,
well, I am upskilling my skill set in this time to include AI and ML because I saw a statistic last week. I began this journey before leaving my last company, but last week I saw a statistic: 80% of men are in AI and ML tech, 20% of women. And so that's not an equal bias situation when it comes to having perspective. So I was like, well, that's great. It's in alignment with the skill set that I'm aiming towards, because I believe that storage and AI and machine learning go hand in hand. And I believe that my newly acquired skills in AI infrastructure and certification that I've attained from NVIDIA, along with the AI and ML that I'm currently studying through the University of Texas, that it's going to be very applicable in my field.
yes, that's great. And again, like knowing that you have a passion for seeing it holistically, not just what it's going to save us in time or energy. Well,
right.
Personal energy.
Yeah.
So. All right. Well, this has been really fascinating. I've loved chatting with you. And
Thank you.
How should people reach out to you if they want to learn more about you?
Well, I am on LinkedIn.
Okay.
And they can reach me through email, sheri.gearhart@gmail.com.
Okay, we'll put that in the show notes.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Well, we wish you all the best, and we look forward to hearing how far you've climbed.
Thank you so much. So thank you. I truly appreciate the time today.
No problem.
It was great talking with you.
It was great chatting with you. Yes. MTMG, guidance that empowers.